Welcome, and thank you for joining us for day one of the inaugural Beenleigh District Not-for-Profit Virtual Conference. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the various lands of which we work today, and any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander persons participating in this webinar. I pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging, and recognise and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of Queensland and wider Australia. My name is Anthony, and I, along with my associate Stephanie, will be your host for this two-day event. For the past 4 years, I've worked as a Community Development Officer with Beenleigh District Community Development Association, or BDCDA for short. BDCDA is a small not-for-profit charity with a rich history of working with and empowering the local community. We're also responsible for the day-to-day operation of Beenleigh Neighbourhood Centre and the Beenleigh Supported Accommodation Service, and have been for many years. Planning for this conference has been underway for the best part of a year. The conference was initially to be held in person, consisting of a 3-day event, including network lunches. We were tracking well with this arrangement, busy canvassing potential venues, sourcing catering estimates, and assessing audio-visual equipment. And then, wham, the COVID-19 global pandemic was upon us. Suddenly, a room full of people sitting side by side and lunching together was completely out of the question. We ruminated over our options. Should we postpone? Should we cancel? Or should we find a third way? Video conferencing had reached peak popularity during the pandemic and its associated restrictions. So we decided to investigate whether it would be feasible to hold a local conference without the hosts, presenters, or attendees being in the same room, let alone the same venue. We mulled over the various video conferencing platforms and settled on Zoom webinar. We are cognizant of the fact that much larger conferences have been held in similar circumstances over vaster distances. However, for a small not-for-profit, this has been quite an undertaking. I would like to thank you, our panelists and attendees, for joining us on this special journey, because without your engagement, enthusiasm and support, this event would not be possible. The underlying theme of the Beenleigh District Not-for-Profit Virtual Conference is mitigating the silo effect. Whether we like it or not, organisations in the third sector are often under-resourced and frequently find themselves focusing the lion's share of their efforts on ensuring continued, often meagre funding through performance reporting, endlessly applying for and quitting grants, competing for scarce funding opportunities, and meeting KPIs and deadlines. Such is the impact of managerialism and the post-welfare state on our sector. While this can leave little time to reflect and focus on the true reason we do what we do, it is important to keep sight of what matters: people. People are the lifeblood of human communities and societies. What does community mean to you? To me, community is the intersection of the individual and the collective. We can view our respective organisations in the same light. Organisation X is an individual, Organisation Y is an individual, and Organisation Z is also an individual. If organisations X, Y, and Z become acquainted and establish a working relationship, we now have a community of organisations. History is littered with references of people working together to achieve common goals. One only needs to consider the ancient Greek maxim, united we stand, divided we fall. We need to be realistic though. This conference isn't going to break down all the silos within the Beenleigh District not-for-profit community. However, it is an important first step. If you come away from this conference knowing something about and having the contact details for at least one organisation you knew nothing of prior to the conference, then this event, in my eyes, has been a success. Thank you again for your support and engagement,